good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everybody. Hope everyone is doing well. This is Fadima again, and we don't to Una with another edition of Social Media Review. Today, March 20th, 2022. We tell God thank you for all things. We tell God thank you for life. They want the mourn among we let God sorry for them. They want the way sick, let God give them medicine. And let us work towards what we desire, and the universe will find a way for giving what we desire. And as we come again, as usual with me, my co-host, Mr. Lawyer Shilon. Lawyer Shilon is a practicing attorney over 40 years in the United States, based in North Carolina, and he's here with me so that we'll get for kind of much the team them where they go on right now, where na social media will feel say important for can talk about. Also, I beg una, I ask una, they appeal to now. Now let we share, let we call we own other people then for come for can join we. Let we come, let we can rob much per salon, because we they see what they happen at the world right now, we they see what they go on at the world. We all get for try for make USA we come out, because USA we come out now in our home. We tell God thank you for the inside of the world and all day we within at the diaspora. We tell God thank you. We don't adopt, they adopt we just start like we get a second home where they able make we able for live well and take care of the people then back home, where they give you the opportunity for they able be our best self, and for try for help, give back to the country. So this is what we do here. This is the Voice of Sierra Leone, a platform that was created for just let we Sierra Leoneans then come for can up much per waiting they happen, and the one day where they run the country with the give the assurance say yes they listen to us, yes they know about us, and yes they listen. Trust me, they listen, because we send it directly to them. They listen, and when they ask the question the way some people not able to ask, when they talk about the things the way some people not able to talk about, because when we sit on our so all we try for do is promote and bring awareness to the people there, because we have to be mindful, we have to be aware for change to come. It's like some people that don't use something, we don't use something for the longest time, and then bring something else to you, which is new, which is changed. The unfamiliar becomes, scary. So because we are afraid, because we are scary, so some people can attack us because they think we they attack them party, or they think with this or that, but we're just calling it like we see it. And we all like Salone in with different way we like Salone, but some of we want for see Salone go before, because you just start like when I say you don't reach of age. We're picking don't reach of age, because at least 60 years we don't say we're able to man for ourselves. 30 day we then our honor our mama, then 30 day we they honor we colonial master them, with a beg, with a call, with a Allah, with a plea, we're not able to take care of we say. It just start like a 60-year-old woman or man, then at the world, able 30 day, not able finding way it's whose side they go, you don't know the direction, and whose side they go. That's how Salone is like. We don't know our direction. This president promised we new direction, but Bokuten and they don't look like say the direction we promise we, now that direction they will they go. But anyway, I bring me co-host tell I do, and we get a lot of topics we line up today at the program, and I go tell you about that when I come back. But again, I say this is a social media review. Una thank you. Without Una, we don't have Voice of Salone. This is the Voice of Sierra Leone. Who say everybody they come. Everybody they give your opinion. We might not think the same. We might not like it. As long as you come respectfully, we agree for disagree. Say yes, we all know go think one. Yes, we all know go day one. But what do they try for do? They try for bring awareness and bring people them to the center. Look, we think say, wait a minute here. Was I thinking it's wrong? For look, we learn something new. And sometimes we might not take it in the first day, but later on it go echo na hear back again. We say, you know what? That's who that person did be the talk on that could I think say that this that. So now that day we they do now. So Mr. Shilon, to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Ms. Fadima. Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, any part you in at the world. Ms. Fadima say, me and Mohammed Shilon, co-host on this show. As usual, when we use for listen to when I know we pattern of operation. That is interactive, is live, you can call, you can text, you can email, you can do many ways for get back to we, for try for tell we which one I agree with, which one I agree with, and not only for agree or disagree, but maybe when I go get views where we not express, where I think say others who are listening should be able to have access to. So we also tolerate that. So you can call, you can give your view about what on the subject matter, what to discuss, and on the country in general. Because at the end of the day, everything we would talk about, now for the benefit of Australians, because we do know, and nobody can deny this. I don't care which political party runs Sierra Leone, as long as you look at the operation of a government in the lens of a party, nothing beneficial will be done for the country. Even though with politics, as it is structured, we get for join political party for come in. But once you come in, you will realize your fundamental, whether the political party or whether the president, your fundamental obligation that you are now in a different level or at a different level in the sense that you are now president. And if they elect you, even on a political banner into parliament, once you get elected, you should know, in fact, you must know that your responsibility broadens, that you are just not a party parliamentarian, any laws, any objection where you raise in a parliament for be in the interest of the country or what is in the best interest of the country. So if, regardless of the name of the political party to which you belong, when you become president, you are not president. This is common sense, this is basic stuff. Nobody is president of a party. And the interest is about Sierra Leone system. Now, no one political party for the past 20 or more years has been able to come into power by themselves. Then forget a coalition or association or affiliation with another political party, and APC under the Nkrumah regime was able to come to power because they aligned with Charles Bagain party, and in the 1960s, APC came to power again because of alignment from people or with people like L.A.M. Brewer, Kutubu Kaisamba, people like those, J.B. Francis and others. So one political party really not get the clout, has never been able to clearly establish that one party in and of itself can win an election. But that said, as I always say, we will look at everything purely from a nationalistic basis. And anyone who sees things any other way, from a regional standpoint, from tribal standpoint, you are completely, of course, you're totally mistaken. And such approach to governance will never, ever produce any fruitful result because it's the wrong attempt, the wrong route to pursue progress. So that said, I hope we'll go exchange. So when we say certain things about certain party, I like for some of them for grow up, for begin to understand where people like me on philosophical belief. It has nothing to do with a political party. But even if I dislike a political party or I say something against a political party, you, where they oppose me, not get any more vested interest in that party. They probably have no interest in the party at all. So let us begin for share with you. Let us become Sierra Leonean first, and then anything else second. But nothing beats being a Sierra Leonean, because at the end of the day, I know of no international organization that is formulated under the auspices of the tribe to which you belong. When you go to international meeting, they don't ask you, well, which political party at home do you represent? They say, what country are you representing? When you go to the United Nations, they don't say, well, what tribe are you from? Or which political party? They say, what country are you from? So I don't know why we're not learn from that and try to spread the word and try to encourage younger generations to begin to get the basic understanding of what politics should mean. And finally, like I always say, politics, you forego into with only one purpose in mind, no other purpose. Although we know say 99% of the people who go into politics in our country, their own purpose is different. And purpose now for personally enrich themselves, then see it as a quick way for get gentry. But politics now for serve the people. Now for go there, in fact, now I make now a lot of advanced countries and people who don't succeed in their profession, in their business. So now they go into politics to look at money. Some of them they go into politics in some advanced country for get influence internationally. You get millionaire in a way sometimes want ambassadorial appointment just for the prestige. But for going to it, making money, not to the primary cause then. So we need to keep reminding our brothers and sisters, 98 or 99% of whom, clearly, no doubt, now self-enrichment they're going. I don't care what they tell you. You can tell by the pronouncement, you can tell by how they act, you can tell by the way they run the departments, them, where they assign them to, whether at ministerial level or permanent secretariatship. You can tell how they approach issues for, say, they're not there to make any improvement. They're just there for themselves. But that said, I will pass on back to Ms. Fadima. So please call in, make your contribution. Let's agree to disagree. Back to you, Ms. Fadima.
Thank you, Mr. Salone. Thank you very much, sir. Many people that we get a lineup for today. As usual, we get for do updates on the war and between Ukraine and Russia and how they affect the people them. Salone they affect the livelihood, waiting they go on. And also on Dondande, we get for can talk also on the Lagatelo piercing issue, Lagatelo piercing in court's case, the tribunal wouldn't be it don't begin, we get for can up much small day. But we main topic today will be but this consortium where they don't make the scope. When they ask the question if Copp will be effective, it will be effective. If it go be effective for defeat President Bio in 2023, because we don't see then 13 parties so don't come together, they don't agree for come together, they don't form a coalition, you know, a consortium of opposition political parties. Will this be able to defeat President Bio in 2023? One can talk on that day. Because, you know, we they see with the Yeri, but we don't see NEC don't announce say next year, in the election, they take place. And next year, June, and we they ask the question back, why June? The people and they say June na rainy season. I mean the last 10 I match them in do waiting do na June they make them, then they make them this year. And we see video then they go around where they advise people, they say, well, una they go register for votes. Where from September to October, where they don't give the date, where we they go register for votes, register for votes na the polling station where they near you host. Not go na the polling station where they usai you they walk go usai na they near you job with the people and they do them public service announcement that they for make the people they aware say if you go so tender they walk no day motukano day usa I go reach to yourself. So yourself they don't take you right away for vote. So vote and go register for vote. Usa you live the police station where they around you host, where you can go vote around you host na they from it. We get for can talk all Bodande. But let me go back to this Russia Ukraine, like how they say Russia Ukraine, the war they go on, you know, look like they're ready for stop. Then they do all what thing and they do. The international world, everybody pay attention right now to that day. They not care about we too much, so then they watch much more with the Lily ambassador they way there. Then they watch much more with the American ambassador. He calling people there, all the American Sierra Leone citizens them and go give them small, you know, talk with them, talk. They do like a town all meeting. They talk boku into in Sierra Leoneans them on different issues them. Then we get a meeting this the 15 we passed through 5 days ago. So all down there, we see what people and they say, they get one thing where they put now, they get one thing where they put on social media, where they trend on social media, where they say gas no day, lights no day, water day, the pass safe no day. You know, it was funny what I see them because it's really, really funny. You know, where the shallow people them wake up then thing and then quick for form something up. But then it is sad what would they see this effect on them here. Quick one with always with price of gas. The gas then don't go up. Some people say they get old gas, but then put the price up quick. And then they put them from 12,000, we think almost now they put them to 15,000. Then they talk on the scarcity of gas. The scarcity of gas inside America, yes, the price will go up, but it don't go down back. Because waiting do the governments they subsidize. If something they happen like that, the governments get outside they put them for buffer the people. Some states then they then give them people their money for help them with the high cost of living and the inflation where they go on. We know all that they say they happen. But when we save to we save. When we bad part we save. Because we see yesterday or day before yesterday, the people that were there in charge of the petroleum, then they go around with the Ministry of Trade, they send people then because people they don't complain, say the gas then they keep up. Then they wait na net, they sell on 20,000 like Jebu na they want the way they go buy then and sell. So that they go get more money and rip off them people. So with the deliberate scarcity, now we self they cause the scarcity for we self. Now we self they cause the problem. It don't tranga pass, it don't tranga so. Then we self they do back again. Wickedness to we own people then. And then they na in the problem that again gets na Salone. We say bad to we self. Because we hear people, we see people in the queue, we hear one of the other owner them of the station within at Brookfields, he say, well, in lock in place because the crowd and the confusion, in just lock all things, shut all things down. But there is gas, but they keep the gas. They don't want they sell them to either Lebanese them or they're Indian, then they want to get business. And then the people them, then local people them, they know they get gas. Then Okada driver, then Keke driver, then taxi driver, it don't affect their livelihood because everything they affect it, they run down, it gets a ripple effect, it they go down and it they pass on to the people, the local people, the poor people, you know, so these are the things what we they do for we serve, where we they try for say we they try for be sustainable for able for sustain ourselves, but because we don't reach, because prior governments they don't make that provision there, and then now this government get clue of waiting they go on, you know, so we people then continue for suffer. We people then continue for suffer. We don't get light right now, especially in Africa. Now, EDSA, they say the people then they pay for them top up. But after a while, that top up they will then pay for it, they go. They don't take the money, but they not able to give them light. Now we hear EDSA, then they talk, say the sheep. What you do, they don't forget sheep inside water, Turkish sheep where they can provide with. President Kowama, the former president, him be the give sheep na light, people then be they condemn him. President Beyonce when he come fix that problem there. 30 they would use sheep na water. How many money would they pay to that sheep there for letting they give you light? From where are they class 7? 9 and 10 we done it in 1975, 74, 75. We they go on field trip. Then 10 and they school they go on field trip. They load with a bus, government bus, road transport bus. Then can we go upline a Bumbuna waterfalls? That time they be de Pambila. They say when they don't go get hydroelectric. This Bumbuna wataya so it go make one of Sierra Leone even go give the neighbor the Liberia the light. But stay today. The phase 1 then begin it gives small lights some area. Phase 2 today we not get vision for see how we go before and how we go come out for depend on everything outside for sustain we. Every time now outside they sustain we. Bumuda waterfalls day. Then other hydroelectric then day. Now President Biodonka with one other one. When they argue, say then they say Naimi don't set the stage. Then they say no matter. Right now the people they don't get like governments are continuity to me. If one begin the other one for able donor. It's okay for let the other one done am because now the people they go profit. But then we see the constant blackout, and if lights not there, I remember where I go Freetown, lights not there, then cook for me sweet stola. If you see this stola, if you see I make them make the fish them, lights not there. But when it begins each time to Christmas, I mean even get for to go sleep na somebody in USA, they call in USA America. Because they on side of the side where they connect, now connect to all them business them. So the heads are them, then they bribe them for let them give them that side the constant light, then the other side and the ration they lights them. That's how they do. They ration to the poor man own, then the one that where they put something in their pockets, then give them light. So I can say, hey, they can't go America, they go sleep in America today. Because they enjoy free AC, everything they work right for me. So people them, we self back in our real enemy. We set back on our real enemy, because they know how to solve the problem, Mr. Shilon. They know how to solve the problem, but they will not solve the problem because they now corruption and corruption profitable. Not also you say, sir. So I want to bring you inside the conversation. They said because we get ship in our water where they supply free ton. Because then we get Black Hole Road side, then we get King Tom Power Station, Black Hole Road Power Station, then we get all the one and they, but then they left all team maintenance problem not sabi maintain. Then we see that the past video, oh, that this person the chief this, that this person the chief that they don't put onto party, say na APC they sabotage. Where individual people and they go thief, they say that this they pay, that this they pay, because nobody no one take responsibility for the mistake and then faults them. They pass the blame to the other side and to the other people. And that is the problem that we have. Nobody takes responsibility. When something is going wrong, they blame the other side, then play into politics. Now this side they make another do them, and that side they make another do them, that these people then they make another, those people over there are their fault. It is never my fault. Me when sit down at the driver's seat, it is never my fault. It is everybody else inside the vehicle in fault, but my fault. Or the other vehicle yonder. And this is the problem we have in a salon. Where lights not there, you food the poor. Now poor man get fridge. Now so we mommy the lunch and say. Now poor man get fridge because what you do, you go cook 2-3 soup, you put her inside it. Then they economically the same money. But now people they get for cook every day because they know they get light. So tell them they 2-3 days they can lights now. Lights not they straight complete. For go charge your phone, you know able talk. Pass you go other side and you go fany and all man they get charging station where people and they go charge and they pay money. The years of that time when we get them boku generator people and they die out of that Kaba tiger, whatever they call them. With people and 30 days, they're not able to fix the problem. Or they don't want to fix the problem. We don't know who's one of the thing. Because if they fix the problem, then the corruption go down. Mr. Shilon, to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Ms. Fadima. What
Yes,
you
sir.
say is so true because this light issue, I mean, it don't reach a point of ridiculousness because it just doesn't make any sense. Something as basic as electricity, where both political parties have been struggling with APC, SAPP. I recall in the 1980s, once upon a time, the streets of Freetown, they may not run out of electricity. The street lights were out. I happened to be in Freetown at the time when they kind of host, somebody kind of host, I was visiting and they say, oh, let me go look light don't have na some street there, let me go look light. I couldn't believe it. I said, we'll go look light, now light pole. And the twisted part of that is that we really need to do better than we do because I don't understand. Lights for be so basic that this should be a non-issue at this time, 60 years of independence. We shouldn't even be struggling with it. So there are a lot of things that I'm not convinced about. I know I'm not convinced that ignorance now a problem. I'm not convinced not just sincere effort being put, but just mismanagement. This is deliberate act by governments that come and go because the temptation is just there. When you are outside as a political party, you don't see the inside, so you don't see all the gravy with the inside in government. So you always get the solutions that are appropriately so. But once the opportunity or privilege shift, when our the outside come in, then you begin to see all the access where you get to money, all the money where they flow into the country, how easily you can divert the money then they and enrich yourself, and how you go able to corrupt the system not to account for the corruption that you've been engaged in. That is what makes people them many times not to follow what they say then they go there for. And with the same thing here, because we want people them to understand. Then politicians here, wanna put aside people, please put aside this party label. Listen to these politicians, watch them, think of the background. When I will go to school with some of them, when I will live with some of them, find out if this not people them where already grow up, they were trustworthy. They're people where you can depend on. Because they may not have changed much other than the fact that they get power. But I keep telling you people, most of them people there, then they come for themselves, not for change. Because if they want to change things for improve people's lives, it's not that difficult. It's really, really very easy. We will all go see progress. We're not going to talk about light. We're not going to talk about good hospital by now. All engine and day before day. You know? In fact, the next go around, I go get for show some videos them, our country that were 40 years ago, way behind Salone, how they are 400 years ahead of Australia now. So, because sometimes we need for let people know the ability what we get to as people, the change we can make for we own betterment of our we own good, and with consistent rejection of progress and ideas. So we need for the bring them in and the level just and so people that would accept say, well, this is not African way of there is no such thing as African way of doing it. Every human being on earth wants good health, want good education. If you have an opportunity, if that's the reason that you desire, like comfort, good roads, good everything, good economy. I don't know, there is no such thing as African. I love what people can say, oh, I saw what they do and I. What do you mean I saw what I do and I? Oh, the one they do and I, it's just bad. It's just detrimental to the people's interest. We for call that out. So I try to tell people, Ms. Fadima mentioned like chop up the effect where you get blackout. Not only the see yourself for go, not only go sleep comfortably because if you get air conditioner, the host no go, the air conditioner go what? Because light not there. But even the communication system, which with telephone, you can't charge the phone for be able for call, for do things. We not enjoy the full privilege of technology as we're supposed to, And also this all goes to policy because their policy here is, of course, I get a separate criticism for the top-up system in Australia. The system the way they get in Australia, I rip off because they can do them totally differently, And like Ms. Fadima say, when the light not work, they top up nothing at the phone forever. After a while, people then go lost their top up. Then I want two. Then get a system whereby if me there with company A, if my cell phone are with company A, but I call somebody with there with another network, more of me on top up go be used because they call it somebody in a different company. Why will we government allow that to happen? And knowing the economy, knowing the hardship in people and for make money, I mean we for try for make policies, not for please the one that way they can come profiteer, because everybody will set up business. And now they accuse them of bad motive because it's so motivation for you to set up a business, you want profit, then followed by you want to help the economy, you want to give people in jobs. But profit or profitability your primary purpose. If you don't go set up any business where say they make money, unless then charitable organizations will then get in your way, forget contributions. So when the company had come, now the government and duty, parliament, for weigh all the odds and see how it will benefit the people and improve the people in life. You just can't make the people that will come up with a telephone business just see where they can make money. And then see where are you people and we're able for pay for them. Okay, I know what you would talk about because a lot of we abroad, now we get for buy phone, now we get for help with family, then we just get for flash we, then we go get for call them back. I mean, the limitation is just too much. We need to remove limitations. So now I was talking to someone who tell me, say, even the electricity problem, as Sierra Leone is today, is artificially created. That as Sierra Leone is today, now Freetown in particular has the ability and the capability for get electricity 24/7, which means 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And some experts say we have the ability as things are. Ship and water and all of that may not be necessary. But the ship and the water, now one deliberate way for promote corruption, for be paid under the table. Then we get some inefficient way for run the system. Because we fill all them positions there with political cronies, not necessarily people who qualify for the job. Because when you take a lot of people, we get the expertise, we get the service, we get the reputation, we're able to make a difference. When I put them aside, when they go hire young men, some of whom are graduates with no experience itself, you will bring them in for let them understudy the system, but for political purpose, when I will get a job, and that's the only purpose into facade, then the one that will know how to manage the system when I put them aside. Then when I say with the gas shortage, it's clear. The motive is for create artificial electrical shortage, where in turn will cause the government for spend money, where in turn will cause money for go into the wrong hands in the form of kickbacks, bribery, and all kinds of things. It's time for people to stop that. And so people need to know when politicians are engaging in conduct, in order to cross their mind if you're an SFPP or APC supporter, in order to cross their mind if you're a Minde team in a Limba local, it's purely for themselves. They don't care. They don't care. Now they make you for care. Where you to go cast that vote there? Make them come, then they talk to you, but not allow them for sway you or swing you to this, oh, well, now brother. And the only two will connect to now two, now because they talk the same native language. Well, now brother and sister, the only two will connect to now two, because they come in the same district. You see, when I for allow, not for allowing ourselves for be misused like that, because some of these guys, they are experts in flim-flamming, in conmanship, in misdirectionship. Now the expertise down there are for mislead people.
Yeah.
This is what they specialize in. Forget, and some of them get degrees. Some of them get big degrees. Some of them get 5, 10 big degrees.
Talking about conmanship, Mr. Salone, you talk on conmanship. Please allow me before I forget my thoughts.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Next week we go deal with this conversation. But talking about conmanship, I watched Alpha Khan on AYV and 98.1. When they said this man is crafty, and it is we are God. We people are not seeing. We people are not a see, or they refuse for see. Because I've been talking the beginning, say, when we are used to something, when you bring something that is new to you, then they fight you, they reject it because it's hard to make changes. This man sit on an AYV. I can read through this man. I don't know why people don't see it. And this is the man with precedent. We say he can't fight corruption and change to a new direction. It take Dr. Alpha Khan, where you talk on degrees, and this man is talking about how smart he used to be, or he is, and how now in no more being the president after an Escoma. and you can hear the bitterness in his way of talking, but he pretend like he is so cool and calm, like it's bothersome, but he feels so entitled. These politicians feel so entitled. This is the man sitting and boasting that he gave 200,000 towards the APC election. 200,000. He said, "Where in begin in a businessman? How many millions of dollars? He invests 200,000 for come get millions of dollars over the head of the people, ripping the people off." You the talk of this president, our new direction. The thing we do to new direction was education. And the same man, they don't sit down at the position when they run the government, they exploited the wealth of the people, but yet did nothing, but yet he come back for stupidity one day when they get light bulb at the head when they wake up. For makes he sit down, he is so crafty and wicked and full of narcissism, and he displays such narcissistic behavior. I'm telling you, I was just screaming to myself. I was so mad, like I'm furious right now. I was like, yeah, this fool sitting there and mocking the people of Sierra Leone. After when he don't rob the people of Sierra Leone, they don't take the people, the commissions of inquiry, puts their own name there inside there. Nothing came out of it. Then the president, in the name of politics and winning election, gear back for like abuse and spits at the face of the people of Sierra Leone. Spits now we face in the all of winning politics. Una sidom, una de clap for them people here. Una sidom, una de gladdy for them people here. But yet with people that they suffer, then they come, then they boast, then they abuse we back in words, using words to lash us, thinking we're stupid. Waiting this for goodness sake. Who said we go wake up and see them people here for what they are? They don't care about us. You, Alpha Khan, sitting on AYV national television, they insult the intelligence of people. Like we're stupid, we don't get what they say. President Leo put you back, Northern Province Minister, give you president. Then you they make the analogy of when you get Leo Star, all man they come up from other side, you they play for the nation. Who are you fooling, Mr. Alpha Khan, Dr. Alpha Khan? Who are you the fool? It's time for us to wake up and see these people for who they are. These people don't care about the interests of we. They don't care about the growth of the country. They don't care. They don't give a damn. Damn, they don't give a damn. Sometimes it don't drive me mad and crazy when I see these people, the things that they do, and then they sit there with the narcissist and the feeling entitled. It was me. Nobody else able to do them. So because they choose somebody else, una sabotage yourself, una what they call, una don't care about the people. It's all about your egos, the biggest ego. What do they display? That's what they want. You know, I mean, come on, people who stay with the wake up Sierra Leoneans and see these people for who they are. They don't care about us. We might speak the same language, we might be in the same parties, but they don't care about us. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. They don't want to know. They're going to go on a 2-3 bad rest where election come. Then team up against Una because Una not a think for the moment. You're not thinking about the future. Because they see how Una did, they know where Una, they know how we turn. Salone people are they act for forget, quick for forget, they're forgiving. And if I just go give them number 2-3, talk 2-3 words to them, make you impress and say you shall be speak, you shall be talk, you know this. He's sitting there giving all this analogy and all that stuff. I was like, listen to this man, and I was just screaming to myself, going crazy. Because this is the country that we're there for 60 years. These people have been fooling us. They've been fooling us. Now we got a coalition. We don't come up. We got a consortium of political parties, Copp. We don't come up. The question now, Mr. Shilon, and to the Sierra Leone people, the Copp, they don't come together now for puts the election, say 2023, because of all the things they wait and not like waiting and do. They missed the opportunity in 2018 for me. That was the time they should have done that. That was the time political parties, but nobody want to give up their power. Everybody want to be the leader. Nobody want to follow. Will this Copp where they don't form now, so will it succeed? APC Naina, the main party. Will they be willing? Samura Kamara is there. Naina be the former. But he's going around like Naina the next one where they pick because they're lekker. Right? Then the other party, then the small party, then they come. Who then go put na the ticket? Where go able for pull Mother Biona in seat? That is the question. Will people be willing? Because when I hear narcissists like Alpha Khan, and we have them, we have these kind of people, we have the selfish people, whether they don't do of selfless service, they don't give selfless service. It's all about how they will enrich themselves and enjoy power and stay in power till they bury them, till they all, then they bury them and they push their wheelchair them. These are what these people, they don't care about me and you, they don't care about we are, una left for fool, una safe, una wake up, Sierra Leoneans. They don't care. So this consortium now, where they don't get that. Mr. Shilo, now the question. And now the question to Una Sierra Leonean they will get for us. How will they do this? Because the ego them big, the ego them big. And if I can't just display one where it don't get our with the biggest ego, and me forget her. Now me, he feels so entitled. I am the one. I was the only qualified one. They sabotaging me. They invade my space. People that will come up put locker with me, call the Kemosi says and all. Everybody is fighting for the aid. Not for one of the people lemo. Because it feels it. Maybe again, I sit down back and ask the question. Do you think Anescola don't see me now? Now make you just decide for choose? Because sometimes you know your people you're around, you see them. It was wrong for him to do selection, but then you look at it again and say, was it because he don't see this big ego for these people? And it's all not about people, it's all for themselves. I don't know. I wasn't there. Mr. Shilon, I pass on to you, sir. I don't know. But I'm sick and tired of the politicians. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much, Ms. Fadima. Well, with respect to Mr. Alpha Khan or Dr. Alpha Khan, whatever he wants to be called, the thing is, I now see our President Bio will be an astute politician. Well, of course, he gets your own calculation. But reputationally, I do not understand, knowing the record of some of them people are with the crisscross political parties. Way for me in a million book should be one way for assess and judge some of them politicians there. Where they switch outside the grass green all the time. You know, for those side the grass they die, for go and dig the grass and try for watch around for let it grow back. They always want for day in the greener pasture. I mean, it speaks volume of them kind of politicians, and they are opportunists. They are exploiters. It's all about themselves. I don't know why it's so difficult for you. So when, I don't know Mr. Alpha Khan, but I've heard a lot about him, and saying I'm extremely crafty. Maybe like your own gift that one day. Persuasive speaker. I mean, he get all the right words for say at the right time. So it may very well be that he may be useful to the SLPP. Now we left APC, go join SLPP. I'm not into politics, so I don't get that political calculation there. But I know, say, from a moral standpoint, the president, if he sees something useful in Victor Fo, in Alpha Khan, people of that kind in there, that to me demonstrates the total lack of interest in the well-being of the people of Australia, because people like them one day, not for day in public life at all, because they are not there to serve country, they're there to serve themselves. The record is clear, you know? And when Dr. Khan they brag about he contributed $200,000. Now, we are not stupid. Yes, there are rich people in Australia, but nobody is rich enough in Australia who can just give $200,000 from his own pocket without that getting or affecting in wealth. And nobody, and then when a politician comes, the brag say, he may donate that much money And then if he don't run for the presidency, what else does he have to tell us? He's making this investment because he thinks he will get good return. Either if in your political party way he day with win, or if he can get the presidency. I mean, the circumstances speak volume. We're not for even, you're not going to be a rocket scientist for say, this is somebody who I know would trust. Because if I trust her, I know exactly. You not spend all this money because you get it. The real test, somebody we're not in the politics, we're not getting no political interest, it's just to try for support the politics of in country. If you contribute $200,000, oh, I will have the utmost respect for him. Because we see saying, okay, I was listening to Aliko Dangote, the richest man in Africa, the Nigerian man. The one of shows them. Where then they say, well, politically inclined. I say only to the extent that I give a lot of the political parties them contribution. You say I not get one over the other. They say because, but in the interest of the country, I like for give all of the money. Manadande, I go believe him in the sense that he no need for going to politics for be wealthy. He's the richest man in Africa. He's building the largest oil refinery in the world. He's building an entire township. When it's finished, will hire over 200,000 people. The kind of employment Africa is unheard of in Africa. So Manadande, when he go into politics, now for bring it down. Not he not go get the money. He get more money than Sierra Leone get 10 times. Okay, that kind of a person in there, you did view them with a different lens. But when you get a man like Alpha Khan, a like a millionaire, even to the average millionaire will not just dish out 200,000 US dollars without any anticipation of getting something back in return. So I'm not impressed. For people like we can analyze stuff. You don't impress me by telling me how much money you invest in a political party in Sierra Leone. I'm not impressed because I can see through you, you know? So, and with President Bio, if you think getting the Victor Foback, Victor Fodo go all around, and this man still appear useful to political parties, is something I do not understand. And not like he has done anything good or progressive for the country, you know? But he's still so highly regarded by then two corrupt political parties here. It just makes you wonder, whatever happened to integrity? I mean, that doesn't count for anything. So me and me own analysis. So with Dr. Khan, we seem to forget this deep sense of entitlement to the presidency. You know, we need to realize. Yeah, we need to realize, say, no, I will want Sierra Leone to get a president, just like our President Bio became president when he doesn't even have a political record as such by Sierra Leone standard. It would be nice if we could end up having a new president who doesn't have a track record in politics, who comes there as a result of the articulation and expression of vision for the country. I mean, it would be a fresh feeling in the country if we can get, just by some miracle, we're able to, just like our Gambia do. Gambia get Barrow, who was not into politics, who was in England, but because of the coalition of oppositions who came together, they saw some sign of leadership in him. They chose him. They put aside the egos and then chose him. And Gambia also had their own share of egotistic politicians, then. People like Lawyer Dabo Benkai, who wanted to be president badly, but people see through them because Lawyer Dabo has been trying to be president way from the days of Bashir Jawara. So we foresee them here. So they're all politicians there. That's why it was so much a breath of fresh air with President Bio kind of power, you know, because he was young, you know, he was from the military, he was not a lifelong and a short-term politician in terms of trying to run for the presidency. But it looks like after a while, because President Bio, we were told when he came maybe the talk, say, I ain't gonna make sure people then go work on time, this, that. But as he settled into the job, all and they become irrelevant, you know? So, like I keep reminding these guys, talk is cheap. That's why we not attach seriousness to politicians and statements. They go promise you the world. There's nothing you ask them, they go promise you, so they will give you. But you know, they say they will deliver. So let us just land that, you know? So, Ms. Fadima, I get back to you, man.
Okay, for say to make the statement, say Mr. Shilom, Alpha Khan not say he don't come out APCO. He say he is still a member of APC and Uda go driver. But right now he work for the nation, he work for the country. When they call him, so they even ask him if Mr. They even ask him, but President Bio, if you don't talk this, if you don't talk that, say at the time, he said, well, we not be no when we don't can know President Bio. President Bio is a better person, a better choice. So you know, I mean, this how much and this Victor Four, I should bring Victor Four in name inside it. From one small Victor Four in name in politics. Wasn't that the man that Shaka Steven tells saying that the most crooked man in all one time inside politics? President Shaka Steven firearm. Now in that Monday, the corruption and crook. Wasn't he the man where Sylvia Blyden record? He get the audio Sylvia Blyden put on a social media where he record where they go thief money in a bank, they go withdraw money we're not supposed for withdraw. And they tell Sylvia, hey, wait, not tell the pirates, wait like come. Sylvia Blyden they talk now the audio, so we catch her, look up, we catch her, cook them, this and that. Wasn't that the same man? Was it Alpha Khan the man where them for that Ebola money, where and it's come matter, I've been telling the lady no it's more wasn't that not to be the man then they you see, so I don't know how they do it, but coming back to the core, how can they choose leaders? How they go able for choose leaders when you get some people that are so, because me some of these, if me get choice, some of these people need to go. Some of these people, like I said, they need to get a fresh face. We don't get nothing for do with politics too much. But we get sense, we're able for better. Will they be willing? Because right now, Samora Kamara is riding a wave. He gets a momentum, I'll give it to him. When he first begin, they say, you sabiam. What they say, that be the back talk down there when they give you sabiam, you know him, you sabiam, they say Samora Kamara, you sabiam. That was the thing that was going on during the tender, whatever they call. But now he is popular everywhere he go. People and they run behind. Everywhere he go. So instead don't get that sense of, to me, instead go don't build that sense of say, okay, now me next, they go come pick, I go come be. Then you have Sam Sumana on the side where they say, oh, the ambassador of it, but these people have not done nothing for develop and change on our life. Them, they all sit on at the side wing. They are waiting. I see some go feed some people, and then there's I don't remember again who say been feed. But these people are sitting on the side, then they wait for their own turn for come so that they go eat. Who that's go put waiting at the team? If you have a dream team right now for this coalition, for this consortium of parties, political parties, because we see the picture. When they go na McKinney, when they go meet former president, they go meet na their host, they form a team, all man, all in political party which I belong. A consumption. I see man then day, I see woman then day, I see Femi Claudius Cole, I see PDP, and all man get your party, the party them boku. You know, PLP, APC, IMA, whatever, the party them boku. Me not sabi the all name self. Now the 4-5 the number when the first 4-5 maybe I sabi. But these people are there showing and standing in solidarity, say we don't come one word. But me question now, who that's them will pick among them people then they or among them party then they, how they go do nobody not say because election are like 9-10 months away. We see the APC and constitution don't come out, which is good. We hear the NEC don't announce the date of the election in June 2023, it's fine. But who will lead the team? Who that then go put? How then they pick the team? If the team where them pick go able for withstand and pull Marabio in 2023. Mr. Shilon, if you were there, I want to put you on the spot, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Who would you think, or how would you advise them? How would you advise those people? Because I'm looking at it and I see the coalition, but then you see APC is the biggest. Then they already don't get somebody they will be don't test the water today. How will they choose, or how will they select, or how will they elect? Because a democracy within an election, they all get for agree. How they get for come about nobody knows yet. How will they come about it? We don't know. How they go do it. Mr. Shilo, if you been there inside them, how would you do it? Like how Gambia been doing today. How would you do it?
Well, this is the thing. The Gambians, they were smart enough, as they usually are, compared to we Sierra because let's call a spade a spade. Gambia is ahead of us in almost every respect, even in politics. They are so far ahead of us, it's pitiful. The Gambians, knowing the kind of dictatorship that had held the country for a long time, were smart enough to say, look, let's put aside with differences, we'll get a common opponent, make we get our opponent out first. And then we go try for deal with whatever comes after. Now, the way we see this coalition, because of the strong, first of all, there is a reason why this meeting took place at former President Kurmayos. So he still will a tremendous influence on the APC party. No question about it. Because otherwise, as a former president, he shouldn't even be playing any active role in the politics of Australia anymore. Because with the CNI, with former presidents, them unless this Christmas will just go out of power. But all the former presidents, they're kind of quiet. Then they pursue other matters. So President Kuruma could play that role there as elder statesman. Now there is nothing that should stop him from participating in the former party, their activities. But to me, that implies something. Okay, that's one. Because they're not even fair in a neutral place. Two, by the party being held in McKinney at the former president in Host, I judge from that they are not going to be able to get the coalition they need because whoever it's going to be, APC is going to want them forget an elected APC person for being the next president. And that would be a travesty to the country because APC has a record. They have not been of service to the country like they should have been, you know? So by process of elimination, I don't think that coalition within the form, they may not be strong enough for defeat APC, for defeat SFPP or President Bio, unless they put aside ego and try to give a chance to someone where we think say get some degree of credibility and some degree of integrity. Because integrity is the point. We have not been able to have, the last time I think we'll get a president that can attribute integrity to is President Kaba. You know, President Bio is trying. I get a lot of positive things and for Sitaram, but he has not been the type of president that he should be, knowing all the promises that we make, you know. So if I were advising them, I would say the first order of business, demonstrate to we, the rest of the public, let us set ground rules as to how we cannot go in getting in mind who for lead the coalition. We for all make all the leaders of them various parties come, talk to whatever group is entrusted with electing the leadership of the coalition, and let us see what's their vision for the country and how they intend for tackle the problems that exist now and how they intend for steer the country away from the past of the two parties them where they don't run the country aground. So when you listen to them, a young person probably might come up as the most persuasive, as the most promising of the leadership. Right now, I don't see it just looking at the two big party them. I mean, well, let me say one party, the big party in the opposition, the APC, but I don't see that APC leadership, if that, which I think they will want to push for say, and then forget the flag bearership for go against President Bill. And I think that
Well,
will
I know say
fall
people. I know say people then they want to join the line, but una give we few more minutes, please. Una go can join the conversation in a few minutes. But we want play waiting for Kanda Yunkela say, Dr. Kanda Yunkela say. We want play audio quick about this Copp so, and let we just listen what he say because somebody they make a comment na the page say APC not sabi for share with nobody anybody. NGC is over and all man they go one back gonna host. That means say Kanda Yunkela self they go SLPP back because that's what Samuga Kamara is saying here. This Samuga Kamara guy. He's a follower of VOS. Thank you for where they follow. We keep saying what you're saying, but we read comments. We pick out comments there, and I don't lost my trail of thought. But I was talking on the what in Kanda Yunkela, Dr. Kanda Yunkela say, but then they ask the question again get for B the team where they get for pick, but we want listen first. Because Uda go be the flag bearer and Uda go kill. And Uda go be the vice. Because we need powerful people. We need people who are strong. We need people. And as much as APC, they get bad record. But we get to remember, say, with people they out and they vote, they not go by you merit, then they go by Uda they know. Uda they sabi. And they vote. Unfortunately, now name recognition, now the son of the soil, now the son of the days. So if you the pick, you go inside the pool of APC because those other political parties are very young. They are very young. Although they get a small area there where they sabi and they, but when the election become, the turnout was not too waiting and call safe. The turnout was not that waiting and call for them a certain percentage. So my question now go be, who that Copp go put for let them offset President Bill in 2023? Because people in the Allah say they get for go. So if they all come together, who that go be the team? Let we play Dr. Yunkela in tape. Then we go to the people then because we know say una the viewer na the people of Sierra Leone. So una let we go first to waiting Kanda Yunkela say about this Copp business because the question, the fear is who will be the leader? Who that go lead the ticket? And who that go be the vice? Because we the woman the back say we want woman, but we don't want any kind of woman. We want a woman, but we don't want any kind of woman. We want a woman that will make an impact. We not just want a woman because of woman. We want a woman that is capable. And APC gets women that were capable. Yes. So, but then Femi Claudius calling Patsy Day back, and Femi has been blazing the trail on the ground with Dennis White and the other one them in safe day back. So who that then go put na the front tickets? That's the question. Una no listen Kanda Yunkela. Then I'll go to another viewer then quick. Now we'll go to another viewer then.
Straight to Putloko for Logo do that groundbreaking. So to that prayer day where the former president, His Excellency and his Baikoromase, I say amen to us still. Yes, you never know, eh? You see, whatever they in Belay aspiration, let God make it be for us. Inshallah.
Amen. Amen.
It can be anything also.
Exactly. Amen. Amen.
Amen. We thank God for that.
Most of the time, we don't hear you talk about strategic alliance where that what they don't become synonymous to many Sierra Leoneans now. So we have for see you the coalition with the ruling government?
That one then Phoebe and Samuel Wise pulled them out today. That was the inside me out, strategic alliance. Yes, I don't talk about them for 2 years. I truly believe, given the way this country divide, that we, the big politicians, therefore put egos aside, and think about the country and be flexible. We come together. Let people see different tribe there come together. Different political parties come together for say yes. We they put egos aside for make Salone go before. I believe them. Remember the name of we own party, the National Grand Coalition, not by accident. Go back to 2014. You go see speech that's at the UN speech we are making at Washington DC. And they talk about a grand coalition of progressives. Progressives in Bokuna, this country. Nobody no like in country for be amongst the 10 poorest for 30 years. Nobody no like for say we look the World Bank Human Capital Index. We are at 151 out of 157. Nobody no like that every time you dey bottom. The only way we dey fix it if we all come together. Some of we come together. We put we ego aside. Say, let we form a coalition. And you know what's interested? And I know you don't ask me directly, but Copp.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the consortium of political parties. I commend them. They don't get together for over 1.5 years. Some of we know say they don't begin meet from 2020, small. You know, like how the European Union grow. Then start them 4, then go 12 to 27. Now so Copp begin 4, 5. Then go 7, now then they 13. Why interesting? And that make I like the narrative. For the first time, political parties then they come together before election, unified around central issues of defending their democracy, fighting tribalism, fighting reforms that will deny people their voting rights and their voices in a local government level. Then come together for specific issues, electoral reforms, whether neck go do and clean transparently in the interest of the whole country. And guess what? So man may say after 3-4 months they don't scatter. Then don't they together 1 year, 9 months. Well, we they look now. If they go transform themselves into something else. But the fact is, we need coalitions. We need for reach out. People really need for say, politicians then reach out, say, look, let we sit down. Let we put the past aside. Let we think about Salone's future. And Pakaba do that. Pakaba build this country on unity governments. After war, where people don't vex pan themselves. That man make sure, say, people come together and say, so we can sit down with RUF after all waiting and undo. He say yes, forgive them. Journalists, music, he say let them sing no more once they no go in a bush. That was deliberate. Yeah. You build peace and cohesion deliberately, not by rhetoric, not by talking. And then you have cabinets, all government don't do it. Too selective. We need now that's not the interesting thing. Now that make we preach about strategic alliances, but we the politician for put ego aside.
Coalition go work na Salone?
It dey work na Salone, it don't work na Gambia. Yeah, it don't work na Kenya. This Guinea, the former President Alpha Conde, na coalition he been get. Kastori was not a member of his party, but he was prime minister, the leader of the opposition at parliament, not a part of his party. So what you do is teach and so coalitions can work. Nothing not impossible, but we own context is important because we're very divided. It's important for let people see we really together say then 2 years we've been a blast before now then they together so and we explain why. Now because we care about Salone across the board, and then we reach out to progressives. If people they really mean well in this country, then for think that way. Otherwise, this do me or do you, tit for tat, to God they get worse. The things I hear, we make a worry. We make some of we they encourage strategic alliances, constructive engagements. It's because on our generation, or you'll pay a heavy price. If do me or do you continue.
You see yourself will lead the coalition come 2023?
No, get me going under 2023, they far force, yeah? I don't tell you about being flexible, putting egos aside. It's not about me. Look, I get Boku options outside of politics. For me, politics not sacrifice. Boku options outside of politics. Right now, as we speak, as I tell somebody, 3 job offers were turned down in the last 4 years. Because why? I love Salone. That I make a deal. I'm not interested in other one. But I have options out of politics. Politics is a sacrifice for me. It's a sacrifice for the nation. Now that make us say we put egos aside. We sit down, how they fix tribalism? How go fix the poverty? Nothing not change. We are still amongst the 5 most hungry country in the world in the last 10 years. It no change. It's still there. We are amongst the 10 poorest. They will not change. Yeah? Then other half index, the whole show, it no matter. It gets small significance. Eventually, did it improve the lives of the people? With effect corruption, how much of that money they end up back by education? How much more money end up by hospitals? Look, I don't deal with the health system now for 6 weeks because people of my family sick. Private hospital, public hospital. Wait till I see. It well me hard. You pray God let you not sick in this country, bad one. You pray God. So if we fight corruption, and this we call outcomes. If we fight corruption, we have to see that significant resources, leakages are closed, and significant resources are shifting. 1 million, 2 million is nothing. Meanwhile, you get hundreds of millions disappearing just like that. Just habit, because we don't look at the audit reports. We don't. So whether not fighting corruption, whether not good governance, ultimately you measure it on the welfare of the people. Look at the stories of Rwanda, of Ghana, of Singapore, of Cambodia, of Vietnam. Change them when they do political reform, economic reform. People, the income, they go up. We know they go up, they go down. So when I hear people, they boast, I say they've not done development economics. Eventually, we ask, what are the impacts? Social, human, economic. So you talk, yeah, put 70% of the budget in this sector. So what? What if all of it was stolen? No impact on the poor. What if contracts were just given to friends? No impact on the population. They still remain poor. And still in this country, for 20 years, we have not moved. If we move 1 notch up, we're still poor. 2 notches up, we're still poor. Human Development Index, 3 jumps up, we're still amongst the lowest in the world. That's not what we want. We want transformation. We want jump 10 places in the poverty index. Left that bottom. Then the other group. Yeah, not to always the same 10 for 30 years. We're not a shift. We're not shifting. People they clap say we they do well. We're changing the systems. Oh, things are good. Trust the process only. Things will happen. Hell no. That's why accountability matters, my brother. So when me talk to you, and when I talk to the public, it's not about me anymore. I don't reach that stage in my life where I'm okay. I'm comfortable. I do this, and that's why I write articles. Say one day some picking up picker. He said, doctor, I've been talking about this. We can be different. We can come together in strategic alliances for the sake of Mama Salone. Otherwise, do me and do you continues, and it will be an eye for an eye. It's not good.
Okay, so if President Bio call you now and say, Doc, I want to work with you, I want to give you position, you go take him?
If President Bio call me say, Dr. Imkela, don't talk about the country. What's him for do next? I go engage her. He's the President of the Republic. But job? Come on. I don't do parliament 4 years. I get 1 more year for go. What's I need again? I don't prove to you, the citizen, say I'm here to stay. I want to talk for you, these people. Not to talk for government, not to talk for somebody.
Well,
I'm not a praise singer.
In another capacity.
So for sit down with me, President, as I don't do at the UN, for sit down with presidents, say, here's my advisor. Honest to God, I'll do it. It is the same way. I'm very comfortable for come off free song. Go Makini, go meet His Excellency and His Baikoroma. I see you don't be opposition leader 10 years. You don't be president 10 years. What you for do next? For Seka Salone. As a BT and also Bipasa. So whether a president Bio or president, former president Anes Baikoroma, I'll do it for Salone to discuss a new Salone. Oh, 1 bill, not to the same old. Do me or do you? Tit for tat, thief a thief pass you, chap ya me chap more. It is wrong, and there will be accountability. People not for forget. Say then they keep receipts now. Yes, see what's happening. They tell me. Say,
me people, if we not wake up, we're not gonna wake up again. Now the voice of Dr. Kandem Yukuladande, when they interview on issues of this Copp business, he say I don't want job, but I go advise. No, take the call at them first. I go advise the president. I go sit down, have discussion. But I don't want a job. I want to work for the people and not for the one the way they. Yeah, I mean, you know, God, no go first to the caller. They allow all me thought first on that day, Mr. Shilon. Caller, good evening. Name and who side they call from, please. Hello, caller. What's in your
Good
name and who side
evening,
they call
Mr.
me from?
Nimadiki Azubai to talk. Thank you for taking the call.
Yes, sir.
I can tell you right now, I didn't work. I can't help it. I get patient help, but I decide to stay and talk. And it's very interesting for listening to your program every Sunday because it helps me to know who's where we stand, why we continue to fight for we country. I will begin to talk about Alpha Can, then I will talk about the causes of this, then can the young killer, and also what to make people like we the sacrifice for both fight for we country. Lawyer Salone, thank you very much also for what you do. Mr. Dima, I don't know to give this credence to Alpha Can. Say Alpha Can is eloquent. I mean, when you listen to the man, it not get charisma. It just stop because they come on at that part of the world, the country, where they gravitate to this way, the quote from the Bible. It knows how we talk. In one English word the way they use, and so the people away, not they use plenty English. Now they talk to so. So Alpha Can man. Not begin talk through. They give us fiber optic for the country. Alpha Can take 3 million. And I'm glad the way Lawyer Shilon asked the question, but this 200,000, what's why it get paid for this kind of money? What's why it pull that money there in the first place? What's that cause for let Alpha Can able to thief that amount of money? That then are the questions them. Alpha Can is no eloquent and smart man. We know they call him doctor. This title name, I don't mess up the country. The fact of the matter, they put that in the cause of the problem today. The Sierra Leone man, they would vote. The Sierra Leone people are whether they're ignorant and stupid at their own peril. The destruction of the country today, now the man they would vote for them, the one they would dance for them. Until the fool people a day begin to think for themselves, now we will get problem with petrol today. Now we will get problem with lights today. Now we not get problem with water today. We get for all them to task the one that would join and dance with somebody like Alpha Can and Marabio. What to make this coalition get for work? Why we get for all them to task? We get all them to task. When them team up and tell we say here is what we don't do. Here is how we get for doing. But we bring somebody like Samoa Kamara. Since 1974, Samoa Kamara has been part of the country. It's nothing Samoa Kamara will tell we say you don't achieve more the country. From the loan where IMS forgive me for that loan. Today we get $2.5 billion when we get all today because of Samoa Kamara. So today they hold them way for every square miles. Samoa Kamara spent $3 million. That's 5,000, that's 500 people that they die in that wood because of the roads are not constructed the right way. Samoa Kamara has failed our country constantly. And we will fight this. When the time reach, we will choose the right person. But if you want to choose somebody, not somebody, we will talk the truth. Not afraid to tell the Salone man say you are being dumb, you are being stupid. You keep the failure out of this poverty. Thank you very much. God bless we all.
Thank you, Arun. Arun, aspiring mayor candidates is saying it in the aspire for run. We go get forget when the 10 they reach out and go get a symbol and all, and we go get forget one stand against the mayor of Freetown. Next caller, please. Good evening, name and who side you call from? Hello, caller. What's your
Good
name and who
morning,
side you call
viewers.
from?
For me on side, good evening. I mean, on your side and the other side of the world. Good morning, evening to everybody. Hello.
You can identify yourself for the people.
Yes, good morning, sir. Go ahead.
This is a regular caller, Santos.
Yeah.
Let God
Yeah, we know you
let God
for
continue for protect Una.
That's why. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Santos, go ahead, sir.
All right. to be honest with we Sierra Leonean, we not like the good people them. Now them pathetic liar they are way down the thief way from decades. This and some of the thing in this whole they talk say then two parties are not good because now then same one they would say then they protect their personal interests them. It was a shame, a big slap if me na a son or a family member to Alpha Khan. He openly they talk na media say you na number 11, number waiting after jumping from one party to another in Victor 4. These people they publicly say it. Na media say they allergic to green. Integrity not there again in that country, you know. The so-called leaders them they don't take it for granted for a fool. Then you know then they create this abject poverty to people and so that we go always worship them. These are the reason why some of we are not succumbing to these two parties because now then the same people there. Madaka, you talk blah blah blah, you go do anti-corruption. Where are we today? They are all seeking their interests. Look like we have 7 main rivers, which will not forget problem with water and light. Where are we today? Before some of we born, we don't read this thing from decades up to date. There is no solution. In fact, the thing is just getting worse every day. The other thing where they talk again, we not like people and we get good dreams and ambition in that country. We get good plan for the country. Let me pick 3 people and currently we go be a better leader in that country there. Telfala Marana 1, KKY na 2, Femi Cole na 3. These 3 people, any one per these 3, any 2 people of them where I don't name, then control that country there. We go see a better thing in that country there. And let me go again to the SFPP, not to say bad, the good one I know they do. This from this MP something Conte. I've missed his name. Tawa.
Ibrahim Tawa Conte.
They are still good people. Thank you. But to be honest with you, Salone are the one the way they thief we, they lie away, then they do everything with impunity, then the way they follow, now the thief man, the way they celebrate. It's high time, but then they do this deliberately. Illiteracy rate is still high to the highest top. 4 years today, free quality education. Where is the quality? In fact, worse than the previous regime. They not get nothing for right home about. Anyway, I will call back.
Okay, thank you, my brother. Thank you. Let we continue for take the call them. Let we continue the call them first. Then we'll come back. Let we give the people their voice. Let them self talk within they want talk. Evening caller, waiting on your name. Who say they call from, please?
Yes, good evening, Miss Fadima. Good evening, Mr.
Yes, Miss
Shinon.
Bindu.
I've been to Kansas City.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, please.
Me don't. Waiting me they try for wrap me it around here is the Salone as a country. Me they look and say with the interview where Dr. Yumkela get now in the Salone don't become the patient. Dr. Yumkela don't become the doctor. It don't diagnose every ailment, all the disease process of Salone. Now, with the couple that they try to put together, Dr. Yumkela go able for look them people and then at the eye and tell them what thing will go on, just like way analyze and so. For let them all sit down and take somebody where get the country at heart. Because APC don't do so bad when them pull them come out today. SLPP don't come, then they do the same thing where APC do. So now with the couple and the try for put together, he don't analyze, and nobody no go say what in Dr. Yumkela say no correct. Everything where he diagnosed Salone, what make we day, all correct. He go able for talk sense inside the Copp group for let them come together and choose somebody, because even though where Samura might be a compound name where people can go get for know now, but I mean that man they don't dey inside politics for the longest time. We dey with let them pull them commodity. So whose benefit where it go be for lay if when they talk say na Indians sabi for lay in lead that group day, it go bring any betterment kind of Salone. Now me on question this. Dr. Yumkelaki able to stand on his 2 feet and able for talk sense inside people them for let them get somebody who go able for change the dynamics in Salone. And the question, Andy.
That's the question. Thank you, Madam Bendu. Thank you so much. Let me go to the other caller. I see with producer just put a picture up of Samura Kamara. This is St. Edward's, the May Park boys. They celebrate their 100 years, and he's an old boy of the St. Edward's Secondary School. So now the picture that they show they sleep, then they call her Sleepy Samura, Sleepy like Sleepy Joe, Sleepy Samura. Where I mean that's the president, the one when they talk about. I don't know why they choose that picture there, but I guess it's funny. Sometimes we have to laugh. When I little bit laugh, it's okay to laugh sometimes. Next caller, please. Good evening. Waiting your name and inside the call from, please.
Good evening. This is Nakuri Mustafa again from Leicester, England.
Yes, me.
Yes,
Okay, go ahead, sir.
I called last week, but I not be able. I've already bought one some. Sorry for bringing her backward. I get for react on the Copp, but I want to put one point where last week we talk about history.
Okay, sir.
It is disappointing to me. Say Sierra Leone, we know the value we own all the time. Because why I'm saying this is because all the history we Salone they talk about, like what we the right man right. When we pass history, we are the bottom. Because I talk this about the history of Freetown. History is something they pass through from generation to the other. That's why you don't mess with the Madingo history around West Africa. Because then they pass them, even the Jimbas, they pass the history. You know, we can't tell them what they know. I came last week, I tell them like exactly what did happen about that during that time when they say they sell Freetown. But we not take even Mr. Umar we a very regular customer. He say he talk something way I don't know which I get up and say or somebody will say how much they sell, be enough, they want add for tap. So I just want for long they continue for that. This is why they tell us so now history we day in a Salone. But even the people in the dispute them because not the white man write them. The man write this history, where they start on this history. Then they contest against this history where he talk about Freetown. And what did happen at that time? So I just want to know the respect within it is because history now we pass them. History not to say within all the history we Salone get now within the British man right. Within the history. When I interest. Now we talk about we own history. So I just want to know for the value when we talk about things that is research being done by Ceremonians. This history, Magnified know about this is what they talk about. So this is the history of Sierra Leone, not to the history way white man right no more than the history of Sierra Leone. Okay. So I just want to make that quick. The Copp idea.
Okay, thank you for that.
You see this Copp idea now very good thing. Why? Because me, I don't been abroad for a long time. We get prime minister. Parties then they come together before election and they make the manifesto say if we come together for this time for the get the green, the conservatives, the socialists, they come and form a government. And when they say everybody idea they go. Now a very good idea if they don't want bully other parties them. For instance, can the Nicola party, we know say everybody knows say can the Nicola could have been the best president of Sierra Leone, but Sierra Leone people they don't value. Some people they don't know. I mean, they don't know APC or SLPP. They know the one go any other side. No left-handed. If Femi gets the ideas, other ideas them, can they get other ideas? They say that's all for go. And everybody APC get their own ideas. they make this thing on paper because now they form government now we can come over Belgium so now so they form government and what did they on that paper we know they deviate from them. Which is not deviate now the end of the coalition. So now very good idea because election not be it they don't form so it will be encouraged even SLP they even form with other party them we get different ideas because this one man idea not the helpful no helpful go away one man talk to they do free quality education that's it be everybody talk about them before they talk about road on the APC everybody talk about road there's no other. Okay, so I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry, now just
Thank
3
you very much.
minutes. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I mean, we everybody, you know, this is Voice of Salone. It's not like we want to deny you, but the point what they say was the land was paid for, but you say not token, and you know, like how you say when history is not written properly, and we on history now we great granddaddy then they pass and down to we granny then and they pass and down. Now I make it fine for let picking go sit down to in granny old people. If we get the old people they will left, una go ask them question because that's how we learn. Because what history does is a measure stick how far we don't come out. What thing them been do? The wrongs of yesterday can correct today and improve the future. That's what history is supposed to be. That's why history is very important. So thank you again. We call her from Leicester. Don't forget his name again. He said Belgium there and all that stuff. Let me go to the other caller, please. I mean, with the given at the time for talk, one for talk, Mr. Shilon, I will bring you in, sir.
No, that's fine.
But let
That's
me listen
fine.
to we people them. Let them talk because this is very
Hello.
important. This is about our country. This is our people. The coalition has been formed. The consortium has been formed. Who that's then go put? Will they be able? And what then they talk of? And they talk on the egos. In 2017, I made an audio about that. Now that tended them for we don't come together, but there were too many parties, too many egos. So we not been get for kick on to the party then come out. Because if they all the other Boku party be come together for kick the other party come out, maybe for me, I don't know. But you know, so but every time gets timing, every time in right time, maybe is this the right time? Is this the right time for let's Salone get other party? Is this the time for let people then come together say we don't tie out APC, people let go there why let we see the waiting at the own doctrine the way that they go by and their own manifesto. Let we see what in they go if they go able to give you a better Salone because we want a better Salone. We they talk every day Salone not to the same how maybe they grow up. We begin them now not understand that because they not understand, they don't normalize this kind of way. So we continue for do mama born po, picking po, grand picking po. Will they keep no more? They want the whole they keep. Let me go to the other caller. Caller, good evening, name please, and who side they call from?
Yes, please. Hello, yeah, Madam Fazima and Mr. Shilon.
Yes, good evening. What's your name? Who side they call from, please?
Yes.
Tell the audience.
Yes, this is Ahmed that they call from UK.
Yes, Mr. Ahmed, go ahead, please. Now for the people there, you can just identify yourself. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for the program. Actually, I can follow now and I'll be listening.
Thank you.
Actually, what's happening in our country is sad. Actually, you know, for some of we don't left Salone. Like for me, the Gambia, no Gambian politics. In fact, I studied for long before I travel come UK. Like what Mr. Shilon just remember, or they remember me about the Gambian politics. Actually, they're less corrupt. The problem with these people in the small country, they're less corrupt, they're focused. And I make it one day ahead of winner, even in terms of education. Imagine most of the Gambians say, when we work with what teachers, I work in the education, what we mark for exam council. They are that far ahead of us. When now if you go to the international school Gambia, all headed by Sierra Leoneans, then they did. I mean, they do fantastically well. But, you know, if you go back to the country, which how we come on, actually, me know the way unless they rule, you know. But if we grow there, born, they go university. But if you look at the way we call the family, their way, unless you better in terms of progress, I apply for the country, or go from the war. But me actually, I'm not for that because I don't see nobody anything. Because no could look practical. example, this guy, he did from the army. Whatever I don't develop Salone, whatever I don't do, somebody like this we don't come over now the country for long, we not get anything, and go back for go become a president, and he just take some few of you colleagues there, and look at how the country they run. The guy not get the idea how to run the country. Now mistake we do, a very big mistake, actually, an officer might be the right person, or yeah, for somebody, my opinion, somebody can prove me wrong. But if you look at what they happen today, okay, you don't come with all the manifesto, waiting, you don't write. If this guy will go with that manifesto, they believe him enough for do some of this now. But it's like now backward we go. We agree say the past government may be corrupt according to that and stuff. But what you don't do now? Now what you do, listen the worst. Alpha Kane now people away and left na the commission of inquiry. Victor for them. They are only same people and in chief. They are left with them. People are back to give power back. Tomorrow say can't fetch corruption. So Moku just imagine this. Moku look. Me actually, I know they talk about the political parties, but not that the political parties get the problem. Now the people them changing APC, changing SAP, they not make any sense anyway. Now the people them. Okay, now they see Samura Kamara as the front runner for APC. Yeah, we don't know much about politics. We're not saying that technocrats, you don't work in the various departments there. But to me, if you look at Samura integrity, it's far better past Madabi. Because this guy will be the corrupt, from where you don't work for MPS in 10, Pankaba in 10. Therefore, don't say, but this guy don't thief money, don't thief, he don't build this, he don't build this. But an officer, they don't find any of them kind of stuff anyway, because not to politics, I will not be saying be involved into too much of politics with them parties then just be the plan for work. But for me, believe in me, it's far better than Madabi. If you put two people in that, they take Samura. For it go better. So anyway, not that, but Mother be not to the right person. Now.
Thank you so much, Mr. Salone. Like you translate, yes. You don't say too much too long.
Oh no problem. Well,
you don't say too much too long, sir. I like inside this talk here because we don't agree within some of the people. Then we will all force the line and let we let we come back to the conversation and waiting you so far what you will add to this talk here.
Well,
with this Copp business here, so
we don't hear the video of Dr. Yumkela. Me to tell people them if you want profile, if you want to make a projection, if you want to make an assessment of somebody who get leadership quality, if you want to make an assessment of somebody who get a capability, you have to go back. Because I sat here, I was listening to Yumkela in video for the first time. If I use the baseball analogy, baseball and get what you call home run, he hit the ball out of the park each time. The man expressed a vision, he expressed a solution, he expressed what the problems they will get, and how many other and people who would vie for the presidency could tell you, say, they get other options in life. Politics not to their options. They're not get for going to politics. So I will strongly encourage people and for go back. And I have never been an NGC supporter, but I care about good leadership for Sierra Leone. I know one day such articulation for some aspirant to the presidency who has such a comprehensive vision of the country. So people need to listen to the man and make their own assessment in comparison to the other of them, to Samura Kamara, and of course, President Bio is the current president. He is more mild-mannered. He's not, even he, I've never heard him express such thing. So if we are serious, if we are really, really serious about, say, we are so dissatisfied with President Bio, and we want for do waiting, we want for do good for the country, the alternative is not to drive people into the camp of the party we lost to Bio. Because this party get a record. We cannot ignore the record. Otherwise, I'm just as sure as I'm sitting here that if APC kind of power, if APC were to succeed in BO 2023, they are just going to take off full side and left off because the leadership of APC has not changed. It's being run by the old guards who are set in their ways, whose propensity now more towards corruption than solution. You see, so make we know something a little bit. Try for educate. I'm not one of those who share the pessimism that people are not getting any choice, then get for go APC or SAPP. I think it's ridiculous. It's nonsense. People don't have a choice. That's why we have the other political parties. Then let us listen to the leaders. But don't forget, say a country deserves the government they get. So if we don't see any choice beyond APC and SAPP, then we deserve any suffering we go through. People should stop shouting and howling. Because we don't see APC for about 30 years run the country aground with the pretend. And now some of us now out of ignorance, because some of us are young. So we don't even know anything about the good old days. We don't even know how we money will be 1 leon to $1. They'll end up being 1 leon to $1,200. I mean, 1,200 leons.
$1 is 1,200 leons.
Yeah, 1,200 leons now as I speak.
The terror is small now, $1 to 1 leon.
To 1, number 1 to 1. Yes. And this, the erosion of the value of the money started under APC, under Pashaki, when we had all the things there. So people need to know that. But if we ignore that, we ignore history, we think say the solution, now for SAPP, for those lost and go back to APC, then whatever we run into, we deserve, because to me, it's like driving is from the frying pan to the fire. You're not going to get less heat. You know, if anything, it will be worse. The records are there. So we should stop fooling with self. This is not a thing about Samura Kamara. This is not a thing about Yumkela. This is not a thing about President Bio. This is about country. We have people coming to us, talking to us, expressing a vision, trying to tell us what they see. They see the malaise. They see the problem. It's like a doctor looking at a person who suffer from some infection and try to express to we what he see, how we can go about taking care of that infection there and the disease. So if we try to ignore that and say, well, I'm not like Dr. X because I just not like a normal. I go to Dr. Y, we know, express to you what you see, how we go solve the problem. When whatever we run into, now we cause them, because these people don't come to power by themselves. So like we were talking to media, we will get access to other people. Now with duty for express, for educate them, not with duty for beginning to express pessimism. I am not convinced. I mean, first of all, there is a fresh to everything. Now, because Sierra Leone has that APC and SAPP, not necessarily another party cannot come to power, because what matters is the leadership of the party they produce. And even if we think so, well, if we express that pessimism there, well, President Obama could have easily said, am I losing my mind? I want to be president of America. It will never happen in 1,000 years. But it happened right before our very eyes. And if things like that can happen, what's so unforeseeable about the third party not taking power in Sierra Leone? It's a matter of consistent, persistent preaching. Let people understand the dynamics and why, if they don't exercise good judgment, they're running right back into the same problem. These parties, as I have said, because look at the leadership. You know, not to the party, now the problem as much as the leadership of the party. There are some progressive young people then, at the APC. They're not being given a chance. The old guards want to take back over. And then when the old guards say then come, they are going to take some corrupt people and from SAPP too. Like our SAPP, they take the Alpha Candem from them. So how long are people going to allow themselves to be fooled around, to be being kicked like football, and then with the complaint? When we get the ability people have to make a difference in their life, when the time comes for cast that vote day, it's a valuable, that vote day that you life. We should let people know that. That is your life. That is your future. That's the future of your Pekin and your Grand Pekin them and the unborn generation. So put value on that one vote day. Then give you a bag of rice. Then give you money, eat them. You're entitled to it. After all the money we're not thief, no amount of restaurant they will give you what you not desire for eat. But don't sell your soul and your future because you and somebody come on at one district, because you and somebody come on at the same tribe. Because none of that is benefiting anybody. It's time for we to hold politicians and feet to the fire. You see, you will not, I mean, I'm calling the shot like I see it. You will not listen to Dr. Yum Keller and not be impressed. He knows the problem. You know, he diagnosed them properly. He expressed solution. And he's a very persuasive speaker. When I talk about speak, I mean, talk about English, forget idea across. Because some of them superficial thing they are and they fool we. English not a language. I don't care how well you can write them, that's nonsense. That not demonstrate intelligence to me. Okay? Now ideas, not intelligence. You know? So let me understand that. If a person, when maybe they grow up, there was one prominent political speaker called Bobo Kamara. In our land book, Bobo Kamara, they go all the way to Frabe College and talk to students. Everybody want to listen to Bobo Kamara. That's an intelligent person, a persuasive speaker, somebody will get vision. So what I'm telling people, let we not be pessimistic. We have to keep hope alive, like Jesse Jackson would say. No matter how dark the future looks, it's in our hands. It's up to us. But if we throw in the towel, thinking that if we not be on a day, the APC will go back to, don't complain when it happens. Because I can tell you now, APC not capable for give any better leadership than BO is doing. And BO is terrible. I agree with all the criticism. In fact, it's a disappointment. But is he the right alternative? I mean, is going back to APC the alternative for the people in future? I don't think so. And I will get for open the people in ILA would tell them, say no. Don't let these people walk all over you. They've been doing it for 60 years since independence. It's time we wise up or wisen up. It's time we think, but with future. We all get the power for change Salone. Not to them politicians there. The only difference we didn't get, now we give them the power. So when election time comes, that's D-Day. D-Day. So me to tell people that when election time comes, think of the past. Think of the present. Think of the future. Then you say to yourself, when I cast this vote, may life go change for the better or not? And then you make a decision, but not complain when you get the wrong government in power as we're doing now. So this is all I have to say. But I don't share the pessimism, this doubt that if we not get APC, we forget SPP. There is first in everything. You get for endeavor, you get for strive. America then go through the civil rights. To this day, when America is go through civil rights, Dr. Martin Luther King project, even with all the odds ahead, he's saying see a future where, and I ever say, you know, see a future where America go overcome racism. So we must learn to see the positives, to see the light at the end of the day. You know? So don't give up. I don't care how strong APC and SPP be, they can be kicked out. They can be made not to be the only viable alternative. That's all I have to tell people.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shilon. You say, let's keep hope alive. Let's be optimistic. Nothing is impossible, says Kanda Yunkela and all the great books and, you know, progressive minds. I mean, when they talk on President Bill, people are talking of the disappointment. I just want to share my own thing. When he came, I was excited. I saw the soldier. I saw, you know, this man that is coming back. At least people want to change. And a manifesto look good. And one of the callers, they say, for going at the manifesto and looking at the manifesto and all that stuff. But the silence of President Bill and many, many things, the things that are going wrong, it puts, sometimes people not can get the experience. They are not experts. So it thinks it to me, it brought experts. But then it continue for keep the expert here where they can the country go down the drain. And I want let we remember Fatima Bio been talk one word where one time been come. I've been thinking of first month a couple of years ago when I say it is swear, it can't swear. But he press say there are people around my husband, and these are her words. I'm borrowing it for her. And I know they quote them because I they paraphrase because I don't remember the exact word, but this is how it went. He said there are people that are around my husband that want to take Salone go back to that dark place. Let God pull them come there before the year done. That was her prayer for Sierra Leone. And things are getting harder and harder. And President Bill, as a leader, because he has to carry it because he's not the leader, he is failing us. The people are suffering. And somebody that writes now the thing say, the people are blaming President Bill for the gas business. And I talk in the beginning say, this is not a government for we safe bad for we safe. What's in good for we safe the poor and for we safe. And in life, we can for left the world a better place than how we meet them. When somebody comes say, I want to lead you, I can do this, we entrust with livelihood, with future, with growth like you are, for saying you will be this good leader, and you sitting back, being this mild-tempered, not speaking, not saying much. To me, it is not good leadership. And you cannot continue for run a broken country like that. President Bill continues to go internationally, telling us either way they call, where people then talk, he say, I will continue for fly because at the brink, what have you brought back to us yet that is changing the life? Just like Mr. Juncker say, waiting they don't do these reports and this FF milestone where they go, it's good. But how is it reflecting on the lives of the people? People are suffering quietly. People are suffering because they are afraid to speak up. People are there suffering. Just when they're getting, it's to them and their people alone that they do it to. They give to them people alone and the rest of the people are not even important. We need people that we care. We need people that we go for serve, where they give selfless service. It's not about what I'm going to acquire or the position or the status. It's about selfless service. That is what leadership. You leading, you trying to change the people's life and impact the life. You see a problem, you bring a solution to the problem, and you act on the solution where to improve the people their life. Because there's a problem. Anybody who can find solution to a problem, it fix the problem, he act on it. But we're not acting on the things because we know the problem. Sometimes we do know the solution, sometimes we don't. But then we refuse for act on and for bring the change what we want for see, because it is like, to me, it is selfishness to me. In my own understanding and interpretation, because I say, how could we praying every day to God? We going to mosques, we going to churches, we showing off to people. Look at me, I pray to God. Oh, God don't bless me. But then your neighbor is hurting. But then your country people that you lead in, every day you drive past the route, they're living in slums, they're living in poverty, you see their life, but yet you have a child. One mama they cradle in Peking, they rock the member in Peking sick, you don't get money for care and go hospital. We don't have good hospitals. We get equipment then. We go save lives. We don't have those things. We get school. Yes, good education. We all be don't get them. What we be small. We get quality education. Long term, them mommy they will not be go better school. Then start standard 3. Now so them they call them, but then get sense past some of them one day when they go college now. They're able to articulate, they're able to express themselves, they get high comprehension level because the quality was there in education. You go to classroom, you meet a nice classroom, you get nice desks, window, then now you go to the schools, them. God bless the old girls and boys association, them, where they try for develop their school and giving back to their schools. This is the life and this is the country. We go, we see the overcrowding of the cities. People are living in slum, living in the rural areas. Then they come to the cities because there's not much for them to do. We see our farmers, our plumber, the one that when they work with hand, we don't value them. Mr. Shilani and Professor Kutubu do the other day on passing wealth and business and why not they transfer from generations. Because they not make the environment, the country, for let people they're able for acquire, for let them able pass on, let the wealth continue. So the gap is so wide. The middle class, there's no center. The middle class, they oversold and they oversold. This is the problem. The energy, because the energy as a leader, you for energize the people, for motivates the people. It is not only for those who support you, but for the one who don't support you. How you go win them back for come help them say, I care about you. I feel your pain. I'm with you. I stand by you. This is what I'm trying to do. This is what I've done to improve your life. Is your yesterday better than your today? Do you have hope for the future? How you see yourself tomorrow? For the generations to come. Because we are near grave we there now. We'll not fight again too much. But the one day where they come, we picking the way they come, you get picking the way get sense. Sierra Leone has produced big time people where get so much knowledge. If only they can have the environment to thrive and be the best of life, with government after government refuse for provide that environment today for we. But yet when we talk, people and feel say you want for come against government. It's not about government here. It's about people. It's about human beings. It's about that mother when nursing Pekin every day get hope. You see vision for him Pekin, but yet the country that they find themselves, they cannot make that Pekin they're able for be the basic education. They're not able for Giam for let it thrive, for be a better people. Their hopes are dim, their lights are dim, they don't have no hope. We cannot light the light for them, give them hope back. The government. That's what you came to do. Improving, providing, making sustainable national agenda for let we able push we country go before. For goodness sakes, we're in Vietnam. With a look, with a go land out and they make rest. They get a program where they begin this week here about the soil. You know, about the soil. When they talk, don't see, don't tell, we don't left with soil because we don't value farming. We feed ourselves. Then they talk about saving the soil. When they talk about the environment, because the soil, that's why we're president in Vietnam, because we had one of the fertile soil to grow rice, which is our staple food. But now the farmer, they're not able to pull better rest because the government not invest in agriculture. Grown that for eat, we for eat. Grown outside dirty, the plants eat for let we eat for goodness sake. That's how we can feed ourselves. That one way for fight poverty, for give the people they first eat for it. Let them able sell long term people that they sell, that they make them market. Some of the fruits they were gonna eat under extinct, you know, they again. Then we get them malumbo, them plum, them black tumbler, they how they call them kusu, them thing and they now if you see them, that rusty plum, then this now you know they see some of them thing then they see the kind of banfa mango they see in the thick. Because the soil is not good, but yet we don't invest in our farmers. In America that I live, they give substitute to farmers. They are middle class, rich people. Some they make money as doctor and lawyer, but we don't value our farmers. We don't value labor. Here, when you want to do labor, if you call a plumber in your house, it's $110 an hour, straight fee. Whether I take 5 minutes or whether I take 1 hour on $110. If a plumber can use for can do one thing, plus whatever I get for buy, it depends on how much hour I take. When you go to the mechanic shop, they go tell you Mercedes garage. They go tell you say $100 an hour for the certified mechanic. Then the apprentice $50. And they tell you say 4 hours for do this part. So 4 hours you get for get one apprentice, one certified, $150 an hour labor. If not 6 hours it take 150 times 6. Because they value labor, they value the people that use their hand to work. They value those people, but we don't get them. That's why everybody is running to the offices for work. All man want go government work. How the picking they want for go be farmer. Now them papa they when they don't see them papa they don't hold, they don't broke their back, nothing they don't get out of farming. The picking they don't go want go do them. There should be incentive for people for one for do good things. We are really, we get for wake up. We get for bring change. We want change. We all say we want change, but no, can't take the color them. We want change. Uma, I can't take the color then just now. Now give me a few seconds. Uma will put on there. On the thing we get for talk about the Auditor General in tribunal, whatever they call. But Uma will put a thing on Facebook. And I can't talk about that day back. How will they behave? How will they behave to we say? How will they suffocate one another? That people are doing the right thing, but yet you go pull on them because you know that you can't. Will they deprive the people? Will they deprive the development of the country? That's what we're doing, for goodness sake. But let we take the color. We'll come to that over thing them in software do. We will come to that back, but I'll go quick to the color because when our voice very important. Now when I get this show as well. Now when I get this show now the voice of Salone without you now not able to talk. I will make WhatsApp say, but now for make us sit down there. Solo you to now want to. They are my brother and sister. I tell them thank you. Caller, good evening. What's your name? Where you call from, please?
Yeah, Mina Bakal from London.
Yes, Mr. Bakal from London. Hello? Go ahead, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm glad today I will get this program. It don't take some time at the try for call on. I thank you. I do very good work.
Okay, Mr. Bakal.
But one thing I want to talk about this APC and SLPP business. We get for accept the APC and SLPP sound like Democrats and conservative. What I say? Sound like Democrats and Republicans. America. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
It just sound like Democrats and Republicans in America with Labour and Conservative now. We not get for avoiding two parties then they. We problem is now leadership we need. If we take example Mogovuli, it been still in the system na in country, but we ready we come. He gets in mind for can do waiting for do for people. And we all see after 5 years that man die, people then they cry for him today. Yeah. Now, but I not agree with Mr. Salone for it. He cites Obama and this talk. Obama no can make new party. Now the same old party will be done there. Now they go. If you make new party, it succeed. Then if you cite Obama, Salone, we need leader. Any one party, the APC or SLPP, if you ready for can do what you want do no more for you people, you go read one. But me, I go tell her, say, Madam Biona, the worst president we don't ever get. We agree say all we president and a chief man and they all the chief, all them bad things and they be before. But for all come and democracy in 1996, Madam Biona don't be the worst. We see how Pakaba rule, we see how Pakaba accept opposition, we see how Pakaba make national unity government. But Madam Biona, when income, it change all things. We see an SF try. Corruption be there in the system, yes, we agree. Even Pakaba in the system, say corruption be there boku. We are about 2 ship press, we are about 2 ship fertilizer way. I will minister be selling and they, but we not see Pakaba go shoot speaking in us. We not see Pakaba kill people for demonstration. We don't see an do on the back. But Madam, you not get one patient, you know, want nobody oppose them, and you can't rule by that. The one that waiting Mr. Salone see pa Madam Biona they talk Madam Biona on this, Madam Biona do nothing. All what they do na fake. na fake business there. He can't preach on corruption. He corrupt past any other president who don't get from 1996. Many talk about Pasheki demo. We talk about 1996 now who don't get democracy. He corrupt past the whole. Now the first president this way, he and WEF the thief together. They open account for WEF na Bank of Salone. Then they transfer with money from consolidated fund. Then put an WEF account. Then they will talk nothing but that. In anti-corruption boss, now the opposition no more in the run after. Mother Bio in WEF, now him make able succeed. Mother Bio in WEF, now make it fail. Yes. So I'm not glad the way Mr. Shilo the praise Mother Bio. We don't need for praise for nothing. He don't kill people, he don't thief, he among the democracy, he do.
Thank you so much. 3 minutes is up. We'll take the other caller. Caller, good evening. What's your name? Who's the call from, please? Hello, caller.
Yes, Mr. Dima. Na bendo again.
Yes, ma'am.
Make this one point. If Mother Bio they go watch out and they take delegation for go check and see how then they go rest when Nina will sleep with food. That man they don't they in opposition for 10 years. All them 10 and they don't go for go see waiting at the need of the people them where hanging on day, it all man look like they go drop dead any moment. Now you go take delegation after 4 years where you don't day inside the presidency for then you go watch see how for glorious for Salone people them. In the first place, when one of President Bio in main campaign now been the amount of money where them been they spend for buying it for inside Salone. That is not for be priority. If now after 4 years you go watch for see how in the go rest. When the rain don't cut, now you want put bucket forget the water. So nobody. We they bad. No praise to God.
I love that. When they end up now, they can put buckets. You know, say then long term, mommy, them get them parable. Then long term, mommy, them. You give me a good long term ago feeling. Go ahead and call Miss Bendu done.
Yeah, I think she
Go
was.
ahead, call her. Now, good question. And
this is a feeling of hopelessness. Actually, now they feel right now. So God bless me.
That's a good question, Mr. Shilon. Look, keep that thoughts. When the rain don't cut, now they go put buckets because these people sit in opposition, but when they see that they do nothing and then they go nowhere. But when they come outside and they get per diem, way legal, and we see fraud, waste, and abuse because that's what they call them. There's fraud, there's waste, there's abuse. We they abuse because we can do it. We they abuse with power. We they abuse we privileges just because we can do it. President Bio don't go almost days now. All 10 of first class hotel they live on. Now here WEF go. Now one woman then they get, but then they get per diem. All the delegation then they get per diem. Nobody know they when a farmer where they can go, where we can implement what he make. All of them man in coat, man in suit, men in suit. Now one or two women go there inside because the men in suits, they all get suits, they all get degree, they all go speak English, they all go impress. But then when it comes to implementing, waiting they don't go land, nobody know what to do. Because that's why I say you see the problem, you find solution to the problem and you act on the problem. You act on the solution, how to fix the problem. Let me go to the other caller. Then we can't wrap up for today. We want to go to Lara and Yon. But I will put a statement up where Uma Ofofana writes, but a bank governor, Dr. Dio Gilpin. I will put a statement where I don't know if we get another caller. Caller, good evening. What's in your name and who say the call from, please?
Yes, Nami again, this is Puri from Leicester. I've been just wanting to talk about this Copp idea.
Yes,
First of
sir.
all, Mr. Sullivan, they agree with your analysis a lot of times, but I want to make you know, say, it's very impossible for let a new party come in the play in this country.
It's not.
So
It is
therefore,
not.
like what the other have just called talk, we need leadership in the political parties, very trustworthy. And the idea of the Copp, what is good is that uh, the people and way other party them, then they count different ideas. Where if you go, say SLPP, it depends to them. Now all what they want for satisfy their party people and they do. And consequently the APC, they say now the same thing they do. But so if they get other people, they say, we don't can join una for this, so we join una because we want to put another part of governance. Maybe that they go help. And the other thing is, but we are not agree. Now when it say APC is not a better option. It is not better a better option, no. But for the fact that they change government, it is then signal. So the one the way they come again say, the man will be in 5 years they spend you. So let us be careful. But if we make this complacency, say no, okay, no, you will not deserve for day. After 5 years, 5 years in politics is a very long time. Because everybody talk about Mongofuli after 5 years, we'll see what he do. But you then they come after 5 years, we not see it out any good economic management, and we say make it day. Okay, look at today, what did them post? Even the corruption. If we happy say they may make a COI, let them pull the wire back, let them make a COI. Because all the revelations when they make like the African Express, then we can ask them, like, they will see again about, say, them put money for the phone where the president, the woman, and make. Let them answer questions as to this kind of thing, because as long as they're in office, they're not touch them. All of these things make say there has to be an alternative. Make it not day again. Because if they did it again, after 5 years, they will do worse. Because the president waiting for campaign for say he won an election, and that president will work. But if he did it as president, 5 years, we not see any meaningful change we don't do. Then 5 years again, we watch the Democrats and for campaign again for another time. So now they can't think that make it fine say for the change government. Make we not even encourage that idea. They say like any other person for come, but the current president not for this deal because why? You don't show we say you don't get any economic management skills the way different from the others. In fact, maybe you will say you don't go beyond other people and go talk to. So now the other thing that is why I want for them we see say if they count political parties them they join together, this could be a very good idea. Make them put their ideas in together because actually they not go be now with one party one name will be. So now make I like the idea. Let them give a chance because we don't give APC the chance alone. We see what they do. Now we don't find people that the same thing. So we cannot continue to go this way. But for the fact that we get other parties there, me I be strongly believe in Candy UK, like even a campaign forum, even though they are away. But I was so disappointed in the people that reject what it out. So I don't reconcile with that fact. Say the people in Salone, they're not ready for give chance to other parties. So therefore, if they count something where now forces join together for come an alternative to what you get. I want at least say all for come rally for encourage this kind of idea so that we will get an alternative government where we count different ideas bundled together. So now these are just what add to the to the top
Thank you.
this
Thank you
evening.
so much. Thank you, my brother.
No,
Let me try to wrap up, Mr. Shilon, because we get some tweets that we'll put out there. The tribunal don't begin on Lara Telepias and they don't go back, say they don't postpone until April. We see a bunch of women them we go stand by them because say this women thing is International Women Day and the women of Salone long term where they been say after the war, when they come to the when they say they forgive women 30%, 30 day, the 30% no happen yet. Now the woman themselves don't have they say they want 50% now. We want for be 50-50 equal. Because you they see Bokutin and a man them. So you see the solidarity of the women where they stand behind Lara and go there with the assistant where they go. But the thing is, they postpone the case, they just do a preliminary hearing, and then just familiarize themselves and all that kind of thing and then. But then you see another post because it is a pattern here. We see a pattern. And Umar Fofana put a post down there 2 days ago on Facebook, in Facebook page, and this thing where they happen with this mania, so Dr. Dio Gilpin. And Dr. Dio Gilpin, Mr. Shilon, if you can able for read and for me, because like I say, my glasses now they call. He said, can somebody please give that young man of Rokel Commercial Bank a break? He talk on Dandy. And Umar Fofana sets the stage for now is a reporter, a correspondent reporter of BBC. Umar Fofana has been accused by Sierra Leoneans that he is SLPP, that he in a cover for the party, they reports the bads of SLPP. But this thing monogram because he himself say gosh in the end of his statement. Because the things that they do, and especially in this government, because now they pull Lara, they bring case against them, where it take after 90 days, 3 months don't go now, 4 months they go, so before they begin for case, the woman therefore force them for go to court, force them file charges, instead go file charges again, and all that stuff there. When you have good people doing their job, okay, they say he corrupt, he do something unprofessional. So then tribunal then pull and write just the term where them for release the Auditor General reports of 2021 or 22. Yeah. So then pull and come out there so and not get chance for lay with the Sierra Leone people because Dr. Kanda you can talk about we don't even care about the 30 days are not do 2020 yet before I say 2021 yet the parliament when are the job they're supposed to do. But then you see again, another man at Rokel Commercial Bank, they don't bring allegations against them, and Umar Fofana write on that, the Twitter, everything they call it. This is what he said, my people. Mr. Shilon, just run and through quick. I don't know, sir, put me
well, yeah, by watching I see that the writing Umar Fofana put outside, he said,
yes.
You know what, I have to say this. Can someone please give that young man at Rokel Commercial Bank a break? 4 years of a tirade and an onslaught, and yet Dr. Dio Gilpin continues to do a sterling job for the bank, as the returns clearly show. Is this how we want to grow Sierra Leone? If someone is not one of us, perceptibility or in reality, we must seek to destroy them regardless of their performance? No, this is not Pasmak. Bo, let him be allowed to concentrate on his day job and not on his survival on the job. This is sickening, and it's up to my neck. What are we, Sierra Leoneans? Is it wrong if his brother worked for a former president? Does that make him any less Sierra Leonean or any less competent? Gosh. So this is the question. But if I may follow up, I haven't read the thing. Let me just say two things. One, Mr. Bakar, who called from England, he missed the point I was trying to make and grasped the essence of the example with Obama. I was talking about, because a lot of una, they try for discourage people for say, because we dislike BO, and I can always make, so the gentleman will say, I give BO praise, then say, you give unto Caesar what is Caesar's and unto God what is God's. Any good thing where I see in terms of governance, regardless of who I come from, I go give the person the credit. I'm not giving, I have far more criticism of President Bio based on facts than any one of the people and way they express dislike for him. I have far more criticism. I've always said in government is riddled with incompetence. I've always said he's highly tribalistic. I have said a lot of things, but me not to criticize them because I know all them here are big negatives on the society. You know what kind of power you give priority to one tribe because you belong to that tribe there. So, but this is not the moment for all of that. People who they watch, listen to the show who know that. I give the Obama example in terms of possibilities. When they talk, say, it's not possible for if you didn't SFPP do bad, then I forgo APC. If APC do bad, then I forgo APC. And I'm saying it's nonsense. I give the Obama because the word possibility or impossibility never even exists. There is nothing that's so impossible. For just feel say because NGC kind of power, the first time and for win, and for sweep the election because they not sweep the election, so therefore they not stand a chance. That's a false impression people and they portray to the people. You for explain how political party then they grow. Just because England get conservative and the other set of people, then we get conservative, we get Republicans and Democrat. Now then say we cannot have a multi-party system whereby with choice can go beyond two parties. So people are making it look like there is a rule of thumb that you cannot go beyond two political parties. And I'm saying that's nonsense. You guide the people and we get ample evidence. You see, the other thing what I noticed from some of the callers, they need to realize that as long as they are guided by this party loyalty, okay, and then you will always see something wrong with the other party, you will never have the objectivity for see what's good for Salone, because everything what you see through the lens of political party. So the SFPP person feel just as passionately as you feel for APC. So the SFPP person will come, they go say negative things. And I'm arguing that una way to see things through the lens of political parties, una not get the country in interest as heart, or una not grasp the significance of the failure of them two parties there. This is what I keep saying. If you grasp the significance of them two parties there, you cannot give one credit over the other. So people already talk about the most corrupt. I'm not here to grade corrupt. I'm saying both APC and SFPP, to me, if you say two people and a murderer, one don't kill 50 people, the other one don't kill 75, what difference does it make? They are both murderers. That's all there is. Then two parties, neither one, I don't see the evidence that makes one better than the other. So for say, when one party does starve the people in plenty, and I forgo to the other one, when I all say it's impossible to forget the third party, what makes it so impossible? Yom Kela is a very competent guy. He get a political party, and if in party decide for join this Copp, I support Copp. I believe them for come together, they oppositions them. But if in that group they for come up with an alternative party leadership, will for make a difference, not to go back to the old corrupt and people there. That's all I'm saying. So for saying for compare Obama, we not to compare Obama by two parties, I compare Obama in terms of how people see impossibilities, how like I want to see the impossibility of having a third party, but Obama saw a possibility of although the odds were against him as a black man, and beat the odds. So I'm saying there is no such thing as impossible. So we can't go by the fact that other countries get two parties, in England, if not one and the other, soon as well for being Australian. No, because the situation is not the same. I mean, we'll get very competent leadership in NGC and the others. So we're not going to settle for SFPP leadership. We're not going to settle for APC leadership. We can settle for other leaderships. That's all I'm saying. Thanks.
Thank you so much, sir. Well, we don't come to the end of the show because, I mean, we don't do at least 2 hours. We don't, we don't want to take too much of our time. Again, thank you for wanting to come. But the question what we asked the people of Sierra Leone, this consortium group where they don't prove of political parties, the Copp, we don't come together. If they go able for nothing, we'll get for go think about, nothing we'll get for talk about now, we table them. Election season is upon us. We don't get the date of 2023, and it is in June 2023. But the question now is, who that's them will pick now the Copp? Are people going to be willing to put aside their egos? Like Kande Yunkela talk on the ego, and I talk on them in the beginning. Are we going to put our egos aside for the good of the country? Are we going to forget the change we want? Forget the people them that are selfless, that are thinking about how the country should go, for take winner another level, for take winner another side of the, we don't day here for too long. We just dip at last kaka, we no more second to last bottom of the crowd, the barrel all the time. We want people the way they jump free up, where they can't help for extend with life expectancy, because now God get life. But we want in our country where they say, I did all I could. We don't do all what you can, I die calm. A country where get good health here. I see them they do reform. Dr. Demby do like a kind of like a conference on reform, healthcare reform in Sierra Leone. We need anything, and we need better schools for our kids. We need people that for able work, let the governments able pay them. Not for outside no more than they pay themselves. We see the waste, then they pay themselves, then they get the money they wouldn't they get that. Then they pay themselves, then self they pay. One day, you say they not pay the president, or they not pay a minister them, or they not pay parliamentarian, or the director then at their office them. They get paid. But other than they suffer are the everyday people. We want a country where everybody go gets that opportunity for able for. We want a country where middle class go come back. We want a country where go be open to trade, because as they can say, trade is how the world works. We get for buy and sell. We get for able for export. We're not going to consume. We're not able to export. We want that kind of country in the back, because it is so sad. I saw the last building of the colonial master, one of the last institutions that were still in Sierra Leone where I was a child. The name don't come on my head again. The British Council. The British Council was this building where we go library, we go watch movie, we go watch plays. This was a place that we used to go as a little child. Where we go read, we go do research, we go make so this that. We watch the Bata Shoe Company, what the agents. These people created jobs. We watch all them big department stores, the PZ. Also, we they run for go make comic book everything. We they go make their novel. We they go buy books. Where our children love to read. We they go read. We they exchange books, comics, and all that stuff. Then we see Kingsway chemists. We see people that we see we own people that we own businesses. We see all those days, but everything just disappear, and most of us are stuck in the diaspora. Because long term, we can say again, when them people they go land book, they go back, but almost probably they go back, we all don't sit on her, because much not there in Salone. So it is good to dare ourselves. It is good. We want change. Whose kind of change we want? Are you really serious? Is your today better than yesterday? Because we're able for always strive for let it today better than yesterday. No matter how it was, let it today. Let you able for see yourself in a different energy, different realm, different speed, for bring the change. Because change will only come when you move. The change will come. You don't wait for Aissatou Mabel, Patrick, Joseph, Santi, Momo, for bring the change. But you can be that change. Don't wait for somebody else to bring the change. You self can be the change, Sierra Leoneans. We can do this together. We for only believe, because if you believe in yourself that you can be that change, the little bit you do for impact the life and change the life of your little circle, that little circle go echo and it go make an impact to the world. This is what we should be thriving for leave the world a better place for the generations to come, to leave the world a better place where we go able for compete with the rest of the world, when they can't ask for expertise from Sierra Leone, because we have brains, we have people of high intelligence among us. But we know they use what we get, because we not value what we get. And I don't care we go to how we care. We don't value ourselves, we don't respect ourselves, we don't respect with people them, we don't respect we serve. So that's why they treat us, because if we lead and they respect we certain things, they would not even do it. Because if they put themselves down, how would you feel if it is your child? How would you feel if it is your mother, your neighbor, your auntie? They get waiting and they eat what the other person they struggle. You hear people die unnecessarily because they don't even get what they call. I want to give shout outs to the to a group of Sierra Leoneans them in the Washington D.C. metropolitan area. Then they do a dance next week. I forget for give them a shout out. Let me give them a shout out because that's what we do. Everybody do their own little thing in their own little way. Then they do a thing. They say light up Connaught Hospital. Then they try to put a solar light. Sierra Leone. Wait, hold on. I will tell you this now. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, please. Okay, they're doing a fundraising. Sierra Leone as one. Sierra Leone has won a bunch of groups there. What did them do? It's like just like this consortium, just like this coalition here. A bunch of clubs, a bunch of organization there where they now the area, then they come together as one. That's why they call it Sierra Leone as one. And then they come together for Light Up Connaught Hospital, SLAO. Una will see on the social media them. And it is in Washington DC, and $100. That's the next Saturday. I'm trying to read this here. Next Saturday, March 26, 2022, from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. at the Hampton Conference Center. If you're not there in Washington, D.C., the DMV area, please support. Sometimes you don't even have to go, but donate your own money, donate your own stuff. Donate your own stuff. The ticket for the regular $100. Then if you want to be grantive patron $200. They want to go light up Connaught Hospital. They want to go build solar panel them because people when they die, you wanna be here where they say lights not there for do operation where picking die in a cottage hospital. How will that mother feel? How are the government feeling? How the people that were responsible for that they feel when somebody get for die because gas not there after the light day for light the generator for make. So they want to put a solar system panel up there. So Sierra Leone has one next Saturday at the conference center, Hampton Conference Center, the 23rd, the 26th of March 2020 thing. We will put on our VOS forum. Please, una can support them, una support them. If you don't have to go, just call and donate. They get people there where they put the number. Where you can call and give and donate to. If you don't want to go and say, I just want for donate this small bit, whatever you have, I just want for donate towards, be that change, be that part of that change, to be part of that change. That's how you do it. Don't wait for just Isatu for Duam. You sit on a corner, say change the camp, or you wait for Isatu. You too can get up and be that change. And this is one of the way then where you go be the change, supports the fundraiser. They say they want to go light Connaught Hospital. Now and for take some people go say, well, now upline a day, but let's begin with Connaught first. Because when main thing happen, then go begin go to all the districts of Sierra Leone, they go begin there, but let them begin first, and Freetown first, then decide for begin with. So we go put on at the VOS forum, at the Senate to we technical team, then go put on our VOS forum, and let them go show and day. So Sierra Leone has one. March 26, 2022, then in a Hampton Conference Center. If you're in the DMV area, please support them. This is a worthy cause. This is the change we look for. This is the coalition we look for. We get for begin. Sometimes we get for doing because over there where we did so, guess what? Sometimes those private organizations, they do these things. Individuals do these things for help the government because the government's not able to do all things. And we know say we own governments, then they're not sabi what they do right now. So they don't spend money out. So people then they don't tire for see people, then they die. They don't tire with the sufferness, then grab upon themselves, say this now we come in cities in them, let we go up there. They're not there, but they get auntie, uncle, and all that thing. I know say one of the organizers them, Madam Zaina Bangura, even puts on Facebook we all day December auntie die. And you recon the Yumkela, I think now the same person they talk on we die. Connaught Hospital where things not there, just the simple things to save life. We're not there. You get the money set for spend, nothing not there for save your people their life. That is what we're talking about. That's why Fadima is here every Sunday. I try for ski here and we wake up. We try for wake up we save. That's why I'm here. So till next week, I say thank you so much, Mr. Salone. I will pass it to you. If you see at the shine, they're not jealous me. Go work on yourself. Tomorrow the cloud go there over me, the sun there over me. Go beyond beautiful, go beyond you. Go make an impact in your world. Go light somebody in life. Sometimes you don't even have to have money. Good words, kind deeds, uplifting one another, lighting each other's candle. You see a sister broken, beaten, battered, go lift her up. A brother is hurting, on drugs, struggling. Give her a hand, give him a hand, give her a hand. Make you help them light up your world. Go light your world. Go light candle. Let we light we company candle, because this is what we are here for, to empower one another, to uplift one another. And then they will follow, keep the optimism going. Let we keep the positive energy going, because we can do this. Let we not say with God all things are possible. Then say if you not see them, anything where you see, that means say they exist. This is a vision that somebody had for come together, a group of people, say Copp, because they see it, that means it can manifest. What do you see? How you see them? How you believe in them? And it can to pass. So till next week, I love you all, and remember, God is love. Fadima, the soldier, I'm out. Thank you, Mr. Shilon, to you, sir.
Oh, no, thank you very much, Ms. Fadima. Thank you very much, listeners. We're glad they want to take time for listening to we, and some of want to get opinion want to express as usual. This is the purpose of the broadcast. So thank you. Tune in next week. Have a good evening. Take care. Bye bye.